People say they like reacting to this shit, so yeah, let's check out some sus Reddit stories without further ado. First one.
So I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can without sounding like I'm making it up because it honestly still messes with my head sometimes.
What the
A
heck?
few years ago, my family took in a girl. We'll call her Maya. She wasn't blood related. She was the daughter of a close family friend who passed away suddenly, and my parents offered to become her guardians. At the time, I was around 15, and she was maybe 14. She moved in and was basically treated like one of us from day one. In the beginning, everything was chill. We got along fine, shared jokes, talked
Okay,
about
yeah.
school,
This is
TV
like
shows,
pretty
music,
wholesome so far.
typical teenage stuff.
Pretty
She
wholesome.
was a little quiet, kind of kept to herself, but she was smart and funny when she opened up. We
Smart and
basically grew
funny?
up together,
Okay.
and for a while, it really did feel like I had a sister. But somewhere around when we both hit 17 to 18, things started getting weird. At first, it was little things. She'd compliment me in ways that didn't feel like how a cousin should talk. Stuff like, "You smell really good," or "You look kind of hot today, not gonna lie." I laughed it off because I honestly thought she was just being weird or trying to joke around. But it started happening more and more often, and it got bolder. She started hanging out in my room a lot, usually lying on my bed, sometimes under the covers. I'd walk in and she'd be scrolling through her phone like she owned the place. One time I asked her if she needed something, and she just grinned and said, "I like your energy in here." Okay. Then there was the towel thing. One night I was getting ready to go to sleep when she just walks in, wrapped in a towel, dripping wet from the shower, asking if I could help her find something to wear. I was stunned. I literally stood there like a deer in headlights while she's opening my closet and making comments like, "You always wear the comfiest shirts. I wish I could sleep in one of yours." I told her to go change in her room and lock my door that night. And it wasn't just that one time. There were moments when she'd brush her hand against mine and hold it just a little too long, or text me weird stuff like, "Do you think I'm cute?" followed by a laughing emoji, but no context. Or she'd sit way too close when we were watching TV, sometimes leaning her head on my shoulder and sighing dramatically like she was in some teen drama series. I even caught her going through my phone once. She tried to play it off, saying she was just checking the time, but I'd seen her swiping through my photos. It was uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to bring it up. What do you even say in that situation? "Hey, cousin, who's not technically my cousin, could you please stop acting like we're in a forbidden romance subplot?" Yeah, right. Not exactly dinner table conversation. I never told my parents. I was scared it would make things awkward, or worse, that they'd accuse me of being the problem. So I kept my distance as best I could, avoided being alone with her, and made excuses to keep my door closed. Eventually, she moved out. She went off to college in another state and kind of ghosted the family.
Okay, yeah.
No big goodbye, no staying in touch. Just gone. Part of me was relieved, but another part still feels uneasy about the whole thing. I've talked to a couple of friends about it, and their reactions are always the same. Wide-eyed WTF faces, followed by a dozen questions I can't really answer. I don't know if she had a thing for me, or if she was just messing with me for her own amusement. Either way, it messed with my head. And even now, years later, I still think about it sometimes, and wonder what the hell that was all about. Just needed to finally say it somewhere. So I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can.
Okay.
These rappers have hidden messages in their songs when played.
I accidentally plowed my little cousin.
What the
I
heck?
have a much younger cousin, 3, who I'm quite close with. We have a game that we
Get your freak ass on!
played since she could walk, where I would hold her by the waist and we would spin around for a few seconds until we got dizzy. She loves this game, and we played it yesterday because the adults of the family were the only ones even remotely close in age. We're in another room and talking about something neither of us wanted
That actually looks good, bro. Like, that ice cream, it was so tall, bro.
to listen to. So she asked if we could play the game, and I said yes. We assumed the positions and began. However, I was tired as hell and hadn't eaten or drank very much all day. I could feel myself about to fall, and my vision was turning grayish as I spun around. I tried to slow down, but momentum kept me circling. I gripped her hands to keep from her literally slipping away, but she took this as a sign to relax her grip. Obviously, the speed at which we were traveling was quite fast, since I hadn't managed to slow down, so she went flying. She was propelled towards the wall and hit it face first. It wasn't an enormous impact, but when she turned around, her face was already beginning to swell, and although nothing was broken, it was clearly going to be a huge bruise. I ran to get her an ice pack, but when I returned, everyone was in the room, including her parents, and she'd informed them of what happened, and thankfully hadn't made it seem like I'd intentionally flung her into a solid wall, but they knew everything. We aren't allowed to play that game anymore. I accidentally plowed my
Okay.
Girls, what's the craziest thing your brother ever did to you? I was 7, my brother was 8, and one night we were both starving. It was late and we didn't want to wake up our mom. My brother looked at me and whispered, "Let's go to McDonald's." I thought he was joking, but then he grabbed the car keys. I froze. He'd been secretly watching YouTube videos on how to drive. "Trust me," he said. So we snuck out. I was terrified, sitting in the passenger seat as he started the car, but he was calm like he'd done this before. He stopped at red lights, waited for cars, and drove so smoothly you'd think he'd been driving for years. I kept thinking, is this actually happening? We pulled into the McDonald's drive-thru, and the lady at the window just stared at us. My brother ordered like it was a normal day, but before we could grab our food, flashing lights appeared behind us. The cops were there. My heart was racing. We thought we were in huge trouble. The cops called our parents, but since we hadn't crashed or broken any laws, there were no charges. Believe it or not, we still got our McDonald's before heading home. I still can't forget that night. It was one of the most adventurous.
That's not sus, bro.
I'm in a sexual relationship with my sister. It started when we were both
Adoption
teenagers
center,
at the time.
bro. Adoption center. Let's do it again. What the heck?
I'm in a sexual relationship with my sister. It started when we were both horny
Bruh. What the heck?
teenagers at the time who were curious about sex. We had played doctor as kids numerous times, as most siblings do, and eventually we started making out, so to speak. For the first
Get your freak ass on, boy.
First time it happened, we'd been watching a movie in our room, and I tried to use my moves. We ended up kissing, and things slowly moved from there. We didn't immediately start having sex or anything. It was pretty gradual, like any other relationship is, especially as teens. My first experience with just physical contact, like kissing and touching, was pretty wild. There was definite shame involved. I felt scared of what God would do to us, but being a horny teenager, I
What?
managed to overlook it somehow. The first time we had sex was pretty special, but my feelings of guilt and shame were gone by then. It took us over 2 years to finally get to that point, and by then, it was hard to feel bad about our actions. We've tried to hide it as best we could. We still share the same room. Because of how small the house is, there are only 2 bedrooms, one for our parents and one for us. The only one I think who might have some inkling of what was going on might have been our mother. She caught us wrestling once. We were clothed, thank God, but it was obvious what was going on. However, she never said anything and never made us move out of the room. So maybe not. At the least, I've never told anyone in real life and probably never will. I'm in a sexual relationship with my sister.
Okay, does this have some sus Reddit stories on it? Okay.
I'm in a sexual relationship with my sister. It started when we were both horny teenagers.
What's the most exciting thing you've ever done? About once a week for a year in college, I would wrestle with my girlfriend's roommate with my girlfriend watching.
What the heck?
The roommate was really shy and never did anything socially. She had gotten out of a long-term relationships right before school started and drunkenly told us the only part she missed was regular wrestling. My GF suggested she could use me with some rules. She would always be there but never join. We were safe. Anything adventure had to get approved by her,
Anything adventure?
and we don't tell anyone. After a year, the living arrangements changed, so I wasn't used anymore. A year later, we broke up, and I became friends with benefits with the roommate. Hi, girl.
What?
I just wanted to remind you to like and follow. It would help me a lot. What's the most exciting thing?
No way.
My brother
I'm disliking and following.
and I got lost in the woods, so he hid me behind a tree. My brother and I love hiking. Growing up in the Pacific Northwest, we spent countless weekends exploring dense forests and picturesque trails. It was our way of bonding, a tradition we carried into adulthood. But nothing could have prepared us for what happened on our last hike. We set off early, the morning sun filtering through the thick canopy above. The trail was one we hadn't explored before, supposedly leading to a stunning, hidden waterfall. Armed with our trusty map and a sense of adventure, we were ready for anything, or so we thought. A couple of hours in, we reached a fork in the path that wasn't marked on our map. After a brief debate, we chose the left trail, convinced it was the right direction. It wasn't. As the hours passed, the trail became less distinct, the forest thicker and more oppressive. We tried to retrace our steps, but everything looked the same. Panic began to set in. Our phones had no signal, and the sun was starting to set. My brother and I got lost.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch part 2.
My girlfriend's hot mom gave me the gawk.
The gawk. That's what they call the dick these days. Gawk.
Gawk 3000.
Gawk 3000.
A year ago, I was invited for dinner by my girlfriend's family. The family were great and were really supportive. They cared for me and even let me stay over when my parents were away. I loved them more than my own family,
Bro.
as I've been shunned by them for nearly all of my life. But the thing is, my girlfriend's mom is hot. Like really, really hot. She had a beautiful body and she smelled amazing. Her hair was smooth and her eyes were so gorgeous. I found her hotter than my own girlfriend. Well,
Okay, that's about enough, boy. Like, bro, imagine that. Imagine that.
when we was having dinner, I sat
When we was having dinner.
opposite her and my girl sat beside me. The table was covered by this mat which hit the floor. This meant no one could see what's happening on the floor. When I was eating, I noticed her mom suddenly touched my legs with her feet. She looked at me with a soft gaze. This immediately turned me on and my girlfriend's hot mom.
That's so AI.
I remember when I got inside this Uber that was supposed to be an hour-long ride.
What's your freakiest childhood story? For my 12th or 13th birthday, I invited 7 friends to the local pool. After a while, 2 of them went to the hot tub and came back acting weird. Later, 3 more friends went, and the 2 original friends told me an old man in the hot tub was acting creepy, with his hand under his shorts, making strange sounds.
Bro, what the freak?
We all avoided the hot tub after that and spent the rest of the time in the deep pool. It was a weird and unsettling experience for kids. What's
Havana.
Are you turned on?
Not in the slightest, actually.
It's because I don't think I'm doing it right.
Can I give you some tips?
Okay, now we're just getting into like the sus part of YouTube.
One day, my grandma took me and my cousins out to the beach. I was close to my 16-year-old cousin. She was the oldest out of us. The younger cousins had stayed in the shallow water, but since we were older, we were allowed to swim to the dock. We swam over and were there alone. We were jumping off the dock and just chilling.
Okay, pretty wholesome.
After a while, we got tired, so we were just sitting on the dock. We were just talking. She asked me if I had kissed anyone, and I said no.
Hey.
No. She laughed at me and said I should have kissed by now. Then she said, "Don't worry, I can change that." She
What the
started
heck?
kissing me all over, and I was kinda into it. Next thing you know, Grandma was calling us back so we could go home. Should I do it again?
No, bro, you shouldn't.
I will forget I have a sister unless she keeps her legs closed. My little sister had her first kid at 15 and her second at 17, but they are my kids now. I was their guardian, and eventually I adopted them. I didn't want kids, but now I have 3. One of them is my biological son. That was the greatest mistake I've ever made. I just want to establish that I do not care about how many neck-tattooed deadbeat losers my sister sleeps with. But she is 25 now and pregnant again. Her boyfriend turned out to be married and bailed when she told him the news. My parents have pretty much written her off, so she won't be getting anything from them. She came by to cry about her life. I told her that I would help her out if she terminated and got her tubes tied. She said I was a monster for suggesting abortion, and she wants to start a family. I agreed that I am a monster. On her way out, she asked for some gas money. I told her she knew what she had to do to get any help from me. She said that she thought that was for real help, not $20 for gas. I said if that isn't real help, then she doesn't need it, and I closed the door on her. I will forget I have a...
Okay.
What's the dumbest thing you've done out of pure horniness?
Huh?
On weekends during high school, I frequently would sneak out of the house and sneak into my girlfriend at the time's parents' house. Well, I didn't have a car or a driver's license at the time, and the only car I could use was my mom's standard Toyota Camry. This led to many situations of me being stalled out on a hill at 3 a.m. with no driver's license, but I did learn how to drive standard quite well. My mom was really confused by that. Also, sometimes I would tell my parents I was staying the night with a friend and have my parents drop me off at school for my friends to pick me up. Well, my GF at the time lived about a mile from school, so I would just walk to her place. But when I would spend the night, I would have to hide in the closet, leave by 5 a.m. because her dad always came and checked on her before he left for work. So, that led to a couple instances of sleeping in the closet, but the best/worst was when I had to leave, but no place to stay. So before this situation, my buddy was able to obtain a copy of the key to the guy's locker room, and I happened to have it that night. So after being kicked out of her place and, of course, getting my rocks off, I walked back to school and managed to sneak into
Getting my rocks off?
the locker room. The key I had also worked on the towel. What's the
Okay, I'm gonna take a piss now, but like, yeah, you can just like chill and listen to some lo-fi girl. If you really don't like me doing that, then just leave the video, but like, it's just gonna
Are
be
you a
pretty
student
chill.
who finds handling their finances overwhelming and confusing?
Hello? Oh my god!
Alright, see you in a little bit.
Finally, finished with all my homework. I don't know what I learned, but I know I'm done learning. I know I'm done learning. I know I'm done learning.
Chat, I'm back. Hello again. Hello, testing. Okay, let's go back to our Reddit stories.
What's the dumbest thing you've done out of pure horniness? On weekends during high school, I frequently would sneak out of the house and sneak into my girlfriend at the time's parents' house. Well, I didn't.
Okay.
I was 17 when I stayed at Uncle Dan's cabin for the weekend. It was supposed to be peaceful, but from the moment I arrived, something felt off. Dan was too friendly, offering me drinks non-stop. I finally took one, and after a few sips, I felt dizzy. He smiled and asked if I'd ever seen the secret room in the basement. Before I could refuse, he led me downstairs. The basement was dark, damp, and there was a strange door at the end of the room. He unlocked it, revealing a small empty space with only a bed. "Lie down," Dan said quietly. I laughed nervously, but he wasn't joking. As I moved toward the door to leave, I noticed deep scratches on the bed frame.
What the heck?
"I'm heading back upstairs," I said, but Dan blocked the way, his smile widening unnaturally.
What?
"You're not going anywhere," he whispered. Then the lights went. Subscribe for part 2.
Nope.
The tension between us was palpable, and I could feel his eyes on me. Halfway through the movie, Ethan turned to me, his voice soft and serious.
Anna, can I ask you something?
I nodded, my heart pounding in my chest. Have you ever thought about us being more than siblings? I was taken aback by his question. It was something I had never allowed myself to consider, but now that he mentioned...
Why is there so much, like, sus... Like, why the heck? Why is there family dating, bro? Like, why does that always happen?
it, I realized I had. There was always something about Ethan that made me feel different. More than just a sisterly bond. Before I could respond, my mind raced with 1,000 thoughts and kissed me gently. But my body responded on its own. I kissed him back, and the world around us disappeared. The movie continued to play in the background, but we were lost in each other. Ethan's hands roamed my body, and I found myself pulling him closer. We ended up in his room, the door closed behind us. As he kissed me deeply, he whispered, I've wanted this for so long, Anna. I felt the same. His touch was electric, and every inch of my skin tingled with anticipation. Ethan's hands slid down to my shorts, and he...
What the heck? We're gonna stop watching sus Reddit stories, and we're gonna watch a Wiz Khalifa doing a open door AD tour, which is actually pretty sick.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Wiz Khalifa, man, and welcome to my house. Come on in, roll something, smoke something with me.
Oh yeah, doesn't Wiz Khalifa get like high as shit all the time?
I got this space like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I got it because it was in a cut, and there's a lot of rooms for my son. I got a 5-year-old, so I wanted to make sure that he could run around and have a good time. I just felt like it was a good place for me to call home for a little bit. But wow, if you ever break in my house, you walk in, you're going to see this and be like, oh, this is Wiz's crib. I'm not fucking with it. All right, y'all, come kick it in the game room, aka the gang room. Let's do it. All right, so this space right here is clearly for kicking it, chilling.
That's pretty cool.
It's just a good vibe, you know what I mean? Come over here, you get spanked in some pool. We got the Steelers felt on top because I'm from Pittsburgh. The vinyls, we got old school Equimized on there right now. That's what Sebastian was listening to, my son. I got a lot of my plaques and stuff in here just to like commemorate the hard work that we put in and like make us put some more hard work in. This is the dab bar as well as the drink bar. Pot. We're big smokers over here, so it's a lot of smoking stuff. I have a 100 joint roller. It rolls 100 joints at one time. Probably take like 3 days to smoke 100 joints. Not even passing to the homies. That's just me.
Big cloud, man.
I love this because it's one of the bigger parts of the house. And when you walk in, you kind of just get the vibe of my son. It's just a good space because there's like different compartments, you know what I mean? He's got his play area, he's got his learning area, he's got his, imagination station over there, and then, he gets to do him. We just do it the freeway, you know what I'm saying? Oh,
The gumball machine. It's pretty lucky.
it's lit.
Lucky kid.
2 gumballs for my guests. And that's how it works. Yeah, this is a really good part of the house as well. It feels like you're on the edge of the world, so I got a really peaceful vibe to it. Come out here, take a phone call,
Damn, it looks
smoke
nice.
a doob, little drink, nice ass view. Just super chill vibe. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of me in here because I love myself. I don't even remember when I jumped like that, but my cameraman caught a good ass angle of it and he took a picture and I was like, we have to blow that up and we have to put that in my house. Because moments like that, you get them, you got to make them last. Now we about to go down to my favorite part of the house. I showed you the gang room, showed you the playroom, but this is my baby right here. This is my favorite part of the house because it's a studio, it's a recording studio. And when you're in here, you're in your own little world. This is like a fighter jet, like it's like a little spaceship. I'm always recording, but the thing is we keep things on different hard drives and we keep the hard drives in our person and I don't keep them with me because I smoke weed and party all the time. So hard drive's not here, sorry. Follow me. This is actually kind of funny. We made this into a closet because I got so many like actual real clothes in my other closet. We just put a bunch of jackets and stuff. These are like some of my signature pieces. Some stuff that people have given me over time. Some stuff that I'm actually making. This is actually one that I'm designing. You feel me? Oh, this is my weed wall, actually. Everybody who smokes pot, you know what I mean? Snoop, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Devin the Dude. I just like to be among greatness. The living room space. I love this space because it's super chill. It's nice and wide open. It's got a very grown-up vibe. It's just a cool place to relax and get your head together. We do a lot of movie nights in the living room
It's like
where
I just gotta grab
there's
some.
just people like everywhere. You can come from here to the living room. It's really good. Inside, outside. Bam. You land straight at the pool area. My favorite thing about the pool is that it's heated. I could jump in there, but I don't feel like being cold. You'll never be cold in my pool. There's always music. There's always pot. There's always an adventure. This is Sebastian's trampoline. He's really proud of it. He loves it. Plays on it every day. Puts his friends in there. When girls come over, he jumps on the trampoline with the girls. It is what it is.
I'm back.
All right, so let's get to the cars. First, we got a 57 Impala right here. We got a Range Rover. We got a Kawasaki and a Ghost.
That's actually fire, bro.
Royce. Those are my son's cars. He don't really drive those that much. He's too big for that shit. He rides in my cars with me. This is my 6'4" Impala. This is my 6.
I love those cars, bro. Like, they're so sick. Like, they bounce all the time. One time, I met these guys in Santa Cruz, and they had those cars, and I got to ride in one. It's a pretty sick experience.
62 Impala. This is just for like, when we driving around, when we going fast, when we moving. My baby's mom actually bought me this. Don't matter. She wanted me to not be mad at her, so she bought me a car. I hit my switch with the right hand, so. Yeah.
I love this guy's laugh, bro.
All right, man, it's been real fun having you guys over, but I got shit to do, so peace out. Thank you for rocking with me, Taylor Gang. I'll see y'all later. Have fun. Be safe.
Okay, that was pretty sick. Okay, so, yeah, I've got something really cool to show you guys. Yeah, so you can win these, like, little posters. Like, we got Brooklyn Zoo. Old Dirty Bastard. You know, like, you can win that. Wu-Tang Clan poster. Pete Rock. Pretty sick. This is all like album art. We got the OC and we've got Gangstar. So you can like drop your addresses down below. After I get them, I will delete the comment because like we don't want people to be like creeping on your house and stuff, you know. But like, yeah, I can mail you those posters and it's gonna be pretty sick. So yeah.